Welcome to Juliet's Journeys. I have been noticing the more I post, the more my subscribers change. Some come, some go. And I think that's incredible because what I'm realizing when I looked at some of my older videos that I made a few months ago, as I'm growing and changing, some belief systems are falling away, some are being replaced, and some are just falling away, not be replaced. And I think that is what growing and changing is about, truly. So I can say everyone's welcome at my round table. And my table is round because there is no head or foot, because one of my core beliefs is fairness and equality. And things that I don't want to say I don't tolerate, but things that are unacceptable to me to a certain degree, everyone's allowed their own opinion. And everyone has their opinion and their beliefs for the same reason I have mine. Something happened, or we were trained or taught or conditioned a certain way. That's where our beliefs started when we were fresh out of the womb. This is why I don't like to condemn or judge too harshly, or I would prefer not to judge at all. However, I'm not that evolved yet. That doesn't mean I don't want to be, and it doesn't mean that I'm not gracious with myself, and it doesn't mean that after I realize that I've been judgmental, that I can look at that within myself. So when I say I renounced my Christianity in the last video, and that I think it's arrogant for Christians to go over to other countries and try to tell people that their culture and their religious or spiritual beliefs are wrong, I do feel that way. But that doesn't mean that I have hate in my heart for people that have been conditioned to do that, because I grew up in the Catholic Church. I was involved in a nonprofit organization that was cultish. And what I mean by cultish, and why I feel like a lot of religions are cultish and dogmatic, if you're being told you can't wear certain things, that you can't talk about religion, that you can't talk about, if you're being told what you can and can't do, that's extremely limiting. It stops us from having open dialogue. And when I say open dialogue, I don't mean telling someone they're wrong. I don't mean calling them names or degrading or belittling them, because that's not open dialogue. That seems like emotional and mental abuse to me. Understanding that the recovery that it took for me to get past cultish environments and narcissistic situations, I'm coming from a different lens now, or I'm seeing through a different lens, but I'm still seeing through a lens, and that's the key right there. We're all seeing through our own lens, from the experiences, good or bad in between, from the experiences that we've had throughout our life. That's where we're coming from, all of us. So I can say I am all about the Buddha nature, the Christ consciousness, even Muhammad. What I think that when it comes to terms like we are the one true religion, the only way you can get to God is through this other entity, or through this, or you have to go confess to a fellow human being. No, that the things that I am more spicy and fiery about, you will see those are the ones that hurt me the most. That's why I'm fiery and spicy about them. And that can come across sometimes as harsh and judgmental and opinionated. That's just where I'm at in that moment. Doesn't mean I'll always be there, it just means I'm processing through. And this is where the grace for ourselves and each other and the empathy for ourselves and each other comes in. I think that that's important to know, because core beliefs for me are not misogynistic, they are not racist, they are not dogmatic religion. If you have a religious belief, I can respect and honor that in you. That doesn't mean I'll participate on my behalf. But then it brings us to another conundrum, doesn't it? Because it's almost like talking out both sides of the mouth, so to speak, because I cannot participate in things that harm other people. I cannot support people that harm other people. But yet that doesn't mean I have to hate them. That doesn't mean they don't get to eat at my table, because everyone gets fed, right? And so many times we hear things like, oh, just be around like-minded people. Yes, that is important. I believe energetically there's importance in that. That doesn't mean people won't fall away. They will. When you reach higher levels of frequency, the lower levels can't follow. They have to raise their vibration as well. That doesn't mean one's better than the other. I used to be really low frequency. I mean, we all start somewhere. This is why I called this Juliet's Journey, because that's what it is. I mean, we all know what the final destination is. We can focus on that. It's about the journey. The only one I can compare myself is myself. I can say that I can see Buddha, I can see Jesus, I can see Mary Magdalene, I can see Muhammad, I can see it. I can see. We can aspire to that. We can reach for that. We can, even maybe that's an attachment though. Even maybe that's a bit of an obsession or an attachment. Maybe the time is coming that we just be. I mean, isn't that Tao Te Ching? Wu Wei? The path? Isn't that the Buddha nature and the Christ consciousness is just to be, to flow? Do we have to plan? Yeah, I have to plan. If you have jobs, careers, things you need to do, appointments, there has to be planning. Maybe it's the planning for a specific outcome, but then we say manifestation, act as if it's already yours. Seems to be contradictory, doesn't? Manifest, you have to look at all the parts of manifesting it. Believe it is as if it is, you're already at the end result. But yet then you're flowing with it. And if you're flowing with it, are you really planning? This is where it's like fate, Carl Jung, the unconscious, will rule your life. And I fully believe that because I experienced that. But then as you heal that and you become more aware and you're coming from the subconscious as opposed to the unconscious, then destiny steps in. Or is there no fate and destiny? Or why are we even asking if there is? Is that even important either way? What other people believe in, is that important to me? Kinda, yeah, if it's important to them. But is it used just to keep us separate from each other? This planning thing, I have somewhere I need to be, so I have to plan. There's a time limit. What if all things are correct? What if all things are wrong? What if none of it matters either way? What if I don't have to do anything and the people are meant to be in my life will come in? I feel like if you're watching this, you're meant to be on this part of the journey with me because you're here. And I'm grateful you're here. I love you. You're important to me. You're not alone. I accept you where you're at, knowing that you accept me where I'm at. And as we grow and change together, we're going to be stronger. We're already strong. Let's lift each other up. Let people be who they are. It's how we learn. I wish you a wonderful day.